Imagine you're holding your college acceptance letter for a school you've been dreaming about. It represents an incredible amount of work and a huge achievement. Congratulations. But for students with learning differences, a common question is, how am I going to manage this on my own? You did the work and got into a school you're excited about. But if you have a learning disorder or ADHD, that excitement might be mixed with nerves or even fear. The support system you may have relied on for years, like your IEP or 504 plan in high school, the teachers who knew you and understood how your brain works, this does not automatically carry over to college. This transition can feel uncertain. However, a new system of support is available to you. You're legally entitled to a specific set of accommodations, tools that can provide an equal opportunity in this new demanding college environment. Accessing these accommodations depends on one critical step you need to take. My name's Chelsea Kwan, and as a licensed educational psychologist, I've spent my career helping students just like you make this exact transition. Today, we're going to be discussing college accommodations. I'll provide a clear explanation of how to not just manage, but succeed in your studies. So, first, you have to understand that the governing principles change once you receive your high school diploma. The laws that protected you in K through 12 are not the same ones that apply in college. In high school, or maybe even before, you were covered by the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA. This law made it the school's responsibility to identify your needs and ensure your success, or even that you were making educational progress. Your teachers, counselors, and parents were all actively involved in managing your education. When you get to college, the framework is different. College operates under the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, and Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. Basically, these are civil rights laws, and their purpose isn't to ensure your success, it's to ensure your access. That's a critical distinction. And it means that the college is not required to provide personalized guidance or change the curriculum for you. It's just required to provide reasonable accommodations so you have an equal opportunity to access the same education as everyone else. So, what does that actually mean for you? It means the responsibility now transfers to you. The college will not seek you out. Your professors will not know you have a learning disability unless you inform them. Your high school IEP does not automatically transfer. You're now responsible for initiating the process. So, how do you initiate that process? This brings us to the most critical step you must take. You must register with your college's Disability Services Office and provide them with current comprehensive documentation of your disability. This documentation is the essential component the college needs to legally justify providing you with accommodations. While your old IEP or 504 plan is useful for showing a history support, it's often insufficient on its own. Most colleges require a recent psychoeducational or neuropsych evaluation, typically one conducted within the last 3 to 5 years. Why is this requirement in place? Because the demands of college are different. A fresh evaluation from a licensed professional does more than just confirm your diagnosis. It provides a detailed breakdown of how your specific learning disability, or ADHD, or anxiety or depression currently impacts you in an academic setting. It explains in clinical terms why your ADHD makes it nearly impossible to focus during a 3 hour lecture, or how your dyslexia makes reading hundreds of pages of dense text an extremely difficult task, or why your dyscalculia represents a significant barrier in a required stats class. This report is what establishes the connection between your diagnosis and the specific help you need. It's the evidence that transforms your request for help into a legal right. And without it, your request can be denied. The evaluation itself involves an interview, a review of your history, a series of standardized tests on areas like cognitive skills, academic abilities, and emotional functioning. It's a thorough process, but it's designed to build the most effective case for the support that you're entitled to. If you're in California, my practice, Blueprint Evaluations, specializes in these exact types of assessments. We provide comprehensive psychoeducational evaluations and we complete them virtually to anyone located in the state of California. So it's convenient to get the documentation you need. Once that documentation is approved, you gain access to a range of accommodations. To be clear, these are not unfair advantages. They're tools designed to remove barriers so your intelligence and hard work can be demonstrated. So let's look at some of the most common and effective accommodations. So, accommodations for ADHD. The core challenge of ADHD is disrupted executive function, time management, focus, organization, initiating tasks. The unstructured nature of college can be particularly challenging for the ADHD brain. So these accommodations are about adding structure. Extended time on exams. This is one of the most common accommodations. It's not about providing more time to find the answers, but to give your brain enough time to process questions, organize your thoughts, and stay on task without the pressure of a ticking clock. A quiet, reduced distraction test environment. Taking an exam in a quiet room, either alone or with a few other students instead of a huge auditorium, helps you use your focus on the test, not on tuning out external stimuli. Note taking services or recording lectures. In a fast paced lecture, a note taker can be very beneficial, or receiving copies of the professor's notes. Recording lectures allows you to review any material you may have missed. Priority registration. This is a valuable tool. It allows you to sign up for classes before most other students so you can build a schedule that works for your mind and attention span. This means you can potentially avoid 8 a.m. classes if you're not a morning person and build in breaks to recharge. Breaks during exams. For a long final exam, being able to take a short scheduled break to stand up, stretch, reset, refocus can make a significant difference in your ability to finish strong. Okay, let's talk about accommodations for dyslexia or dysgraphia, reading and writing impairments. College involves an immense volume of reading and writing. For someone with dyslexia or dysgraphia, this can feel overwhelming, and these accommodations focus on accessing information in different formats. Audiobooks and text to speech software. This is foundational. Instead of struggling with words on a page, you can listen to your textbooks. This frees up cognitive resources to think about the material, not just focus on decoding the words. Modern software can read most digital text out loud as well. Note taking or a scribe can also be applicable here, as with ADHD. For students with dysgraphia, which often co occurs with dyslexia and affects writing, a scribe who types your answers as you dictate them during an exam can be essential. Extended time on reading or writing heavy tasks or assessments. It takes longer for a dyslexic or dysgraphic brain to process or output written words. Extra time on exams and potential flexibility on major assignments acknowledges that reality. Using a computer for essay exams. Typing is generally faster for most of us and less fatiguing than handwriting, especially for those who struggle with spelling. You can often use tools like spell check as well with the right accommodations. And alternative exam formats. In some cases, having a person or software read the exam questions out loud can significantly improve your comprehension of what's being asked. Accommodations for dyscalculia. Dyscalculia, or a math learning disorder, makes understanding and working with numbers extremely difficult. Since most degrees require at least one math or statistics course, this can be a big source of stress. Use of a calculator. For many with a math learning disorder, basic calculations are a significant hurdle that prevent them from demonstrating their understanding of more complex concepts. Allowing a basic calculator on all tests, even when others can't use one, removes the barrier. Formula sheets. Memorizing formulas and steps can be a challenge. A formula sheet allows you to focus on how to solve the problem rather than trying to recall a sequence of symbols from memory. Extended time, quiet room. As with other learning disabilities, this combination provides the space to work through problems without the added pressure of time and distraction, which is particularly helpful for math-related challenges or even math anxiety. Or substitution. This is a significant accommodation. Its availability really depends on the college and your major. In some cases, math coursework isn't essential, but if it is, the school may allow you to substitute it with a course focused more on logic or conceptual reasoning. You've been approved. Receiving your accommodation letter is a significant accomplishment, but it's not the final step. You still have to make sure your accommodations are implemented. Each semester, the Disability Services Office will provide you with an official letter of accommodation. This letter lists your approved accommodations, but it typically does not disclose any diagnosis, so your privacy is protected. It's then your responsibility to give this letter to each of your professors. A recommended strategy is to do this during scheduled office hours early in the semester. Try to avoid the brief period right before or after class when they're typically rushing and busy. This meeting is your opportunity to introduce yourself and have a brief professional conversation. You don't need to share your entire history or really share anything personal. You can just say something like, "Hi, Professor so and so. I'm in your Tuesday lecture. I'm registered with Disability Services, and here's my accommodation letter. I wanted to connect early to ensure that we're both on the same page for things like exam scheduling." Easy. This simple act demonstrates that you're proactive and serious about your education. For testing accommodations, you'll likely need to schedule your exams at the campus testing center or similar a week or two in advance. It's a small administrative task that you'll have to repeat each semester or with each new class, but it'll quickly become routine. The transition to college is a move from a system where support was often built for you to one where you must actively construct it for yourself. That change can be intimidating, but it's also an opportunity to take ownership of your education. The support is there, it's protected by federal law, and it's available for you to claim. So remember the process we've outlined. First, understand that the rules have changed. It's about access, and you are now in charge. Second, and this is the most crucial part, obtain a current psychoeducational evaluation from a licensed professional and register with Disability Services. That's the necessary step to access your accommodations. Finally, learn about your available tools and practice advocating for yourself. You earned your place in college. A learning disability may be part of who you are, but it doesn't define what you can achieve. By taking these steps, you're not asking for special treatment. You're exercising your right to an equal opportunity. You're building your own foundation for academic success. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more advice on your educational journey. And I really want to hear from you. What's your biggest worry or question about starting college with a learning disability? Put it in the comments below and let's help each other out.